We have only 2 episodes remaining from this season. This was the final 3rd episode of season 3, and while the characters were supposed to be wondering who killed Tilly, we're here sitting wondering who killed our interest in this show. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. This was called Thresholds. It was season 3, episode 8. We're now down to just 2 more episodes. Episode 9 will be called Revelations Chapter 1. Episode 10, the finale, will be called Revelations Chapter 2. So maybe From has something big in store for the final 2 episodes, but I'll tell you what, for the past 3-4 episodes, there's been nothing big happening. This show has been very lackluster since we got Tabitha returning to the town. And honestly, it's so disappointing. I think we came into season 3 expecting to get answers. Obviously, she was on the outside, but, you know, a few episodes into the season, and it feels like none of that's happened. It feels like we're back to square one.
It does feel like square one, and my problem with it is this episode, if it came, like, the episode after she arrived back in the whole ambulance scene, I think it would have been alright. But I think it's the fact this episode is actually following a bunch of steady episodes that not much has happened. I think this was more eventful, definitely, than the last couple. But the fact of the matter is, we needed explosions, man. We needed crazy stuff happening, and it just didn't really happen, man. I mean, we paused it 32 minutes in. It's like, what has happened? There's nothing. You've got Julie and Ethan. Oh, let's walk into the woods. You've got Boyd. I mean, it began. It was like, oh, Boyd knows about, she killed Tilly. Things are going to get taken to the extreme. Then it's, there's going to be a big investigation here. What's going to happen? Then we don't really find anything about that until like 5 minutes to go.
Episodes 5, 6, and 7 I thought were really poor. Now, there was a couple of, I guess you had a couple of deaths in there. You had Dale's death at the end of episode 5. Tilly's death at the end of episode 7. But other than that, not a lot happened in those episodes at all.
Look at Dale's death though, like what's the effect it's had?
Nothing.
He may as well not went in the tree.
The guy didn't exist. It's almost like Dale wasn't even real.
Did it even happen?
Nobody cares about Dale. Dale's been forgotten about. But another character that is dead and will probably be forgotten about by the time the next episode comes around, and that is Tilly, because her body was found by some random colony house person. And the search was on. Everyone's wondering, who did this? Tilly's dead. Someone stuck a knife in her. Someone stabbed her in the chest. We need to find out who it was. And, of course, a lot of the residents, a lot of the town people, a lot of the colony people are pointing the blame at Sarah. And I think that's understandable because she is the one person, I believe, here that has killed people other than Boyd. I think only Boyd and Sarah have killed people. But everybody that Boyd has killed, there's been good reason for it.
No, absolutely. Sarah obviously has got a few bodies to her.
Let the bodies hit the floor. No, I think Boyd probably killed more people than Sarah, to be fair. But I think everybody Boyd's killed, he kind of had to kill. Killed his wife. Killed that guy that was trying to kill him at the end of season 2.
Yeah, I mean, Boyd's killed a few people right at the end. But it's all in self-defense.
Oh, wait, Acosta's got a kill as well. Can't forget about that. That megastar, Acosta.
Yeah, but you know what, right? Boyd's are all really self-defense, and Acosta's was complete accidental. Every Sarah kill was meant.
Yeah.
Or directly meant, where she opened the door.
Yeah, so Sarah's got a pretty big kill list, I think, for someone of her size and stature, and considering they're on a wee tiny town here, she's impressive that she's managed to put many people away. But Acosta and Kenny are questioning, because I guess Boyd's too busy for this, so they're questioning the residents, and some guy basically just has enough, and he basically calls Kenny a coward. He's like, didn't she kill your dad, and now you're here trying to defend her? Why are you doing this? Why are you not going to her house? Why are you not putting the spotlight on her? And Acosta is like, what the heck? What do you mean she's killed people before? And yeah, so now she knows.
I agree with Acosta, right? Boyd's excuse to Kenny about keeping Sarah alive is that we needed her. She knew something. That's gone and went, folks.
Yeah, but you can't really bring it up 6 months later. Oh, Sarah, remember that time we kept you alive because we thought you knew something? You don't, so now we're going to kill you. That's a bit lame, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, but if it actually helped them in the long run, you could say, well, that's the forgiveness. What did it do? It put Boyd in a well. And she was just in the church basement. Wait, what about David? I bet you he wishes he got the chance to go with Boyd.
Well, to be fair, Boyd was going to spare him and he just gave up in life, didn't he? And I think his name was Frank.
David Frank. Well, I tell you what, he went out like a martyr.
Yeah, anyway, Boyd, at the start of the episode, he takes Fatima to an empty cabin and he's going to come up with a plan. So Boyd, Fatima and Ellis, they're all in this together. They all know that Fatima killed Tilly, but they're going to try and hide it. They're going to try and... what's Boyd's plan here? Because if he doesn't own up and admit it's Fatima, then surely the residents are going to look for someone else to blame anyway. Tilly just didn't get... And let's say that everyone accepts that she didn't just get stabbed in the chest by nobody, which I think that's a pretty fair assumption. Wouldn't maybe the group begin to believe that maybe the monsters can come out during the day? I don't think Boyd thought this through.
No, he didn't.
Long-term effects, someone was going to have to own up and take the blame for this.
No, absolutely, but I tell you what...
or hide the body.
Ellis...
I mean, if he didn't want... That would have been Boyd's best bet, I think. Hiding the body... Oh, but Boyd says, we need to wait until someone finds her. Look, it sucks for Tilly, but I mean, at this point, she was already dead. Do you not think it would have made more sense for Boyd? Now, you could argue how he's going to get rid of it, but I mean, we've seen him transport bodies before in the wheelbarrow. I think Boyd should have tried to get rid of the body. That's what I would have done.
No, I agree, but I look at Ellis and I just think this guy's the dumbest fuck known to man. So, him and Boyd are having a bit of a heated discussion here, and he's like, they can't find out, but then he's like, we might need to say Dad, and he's like, I don't want them to put her in the box. It's like, if you don't want her to die and you don't want repercussions, then just shut up. It's that simple, Ellis. Then later on he was greeting as well. I think Ellis, man, I don't really rate the character. His dialogue, I don't know, he just comes across like a dumb fuck.
He's lucky he's Boyd's son.
He's naive to the highest degree. No, you're right. Though,
if he wasn't Boyd's son, I would give zero fucks about Ellis.
No, absolutely.
I don't really care that much about him right now, to be honest.
I don't really care that much.
But he's got that effect. He's got the Boyd son effect. So fair play to him. So Donna then comes in and she says that the residents are accusing Sarah. Boyd's like, nah, it wasn't Sarah. Donna's like, how can you be so sure? We don't know that. You don't know that. You may trust her, Boyd, but we don't. And then Boyd's like, well, I know it's not Sarah because it was Fatima. And honestly, I thought that Donna would have reacted a bit differently to this because she did bring up how I view Fatima as one of my own. But, I mean, Donna was taking no shit here, really, wasn't she? She's just like, well, Fatima done it. She's going to have to answer to her crimes. I thought Donna would have been a little bit more lenient here once she found out Fatima was the one that done it.
I thought that, but at least she's not lenient. I mean, does this open up the possibility that... Well, what does Donna want then? Face her crimes?
Yeah, now Ellis did say he doesn't want Fatima going in the box. He can't allow that. And Boyd's like, nobody's going in the... She's not going in the box. I won't allow that to happen. I mean, it's weird that the guy, Frank, got put in the box and all he did was get drunk and, have a little bit of negligence in there, whereas Fatima and Sarah have actually killed people.
Yeah.
Like cold blood, stabbing. For some reason, they avoid the box. Don't know why Frank was so...
I know, but you've got Alice like, why don't we explain what's up with her? It's like, yeah, but the Boyd's like, but, some people might believe her, but the vast majority won't believe her.
Yeah, and it's like, I think if you explain what's up with her, I think even more people want her gone or dead. I mean,
look how hostile, right, they acted towards Tabitha.
Yeah.
For nothing, really. I mean, because she ended up back without doing much on the outside.
But Boyd's trying to tell Donna, look, it's alright, we can handle this. We can tell them to accept it. They accept it, Sarah, and they'll have to accept this. And Donna's like, no, they didn't understand Sarah. They only did it because you told them they had to. And Boyd's like, well, I'll tell them they have to again. And she says, it won't work this time because they don't believe in you anymore. They don't trust you anymore. I don't trust him.
Are you feeling that? Are you feeling that they don't believe Boyd?
I feel like he's not the leader he once was.
But I almost feel like... I don't think... It's like they've almost turned something that wasn't intentional by the writing into a fucking storyline.
But here, if they don't trust Boyd, who can you trust?
No, but I actually agree with Donna here. He's not the... He just feels like a shadow. I don't know what's happening.
See, in season 1, you felt like nobody in the town would wipe their arse without Boyd's approval.
Yep.
See now, it's just like Boyd just seems to be there, doesn't he?
You're right.
He's technically the sheriff, but it's like nobody's really going to Boyd to ask for permission to do this or to do that. Whereas you felt like in season 1, I'm not saying it was like a dictator thing or something like that, but you definitely felt like Boyd was the leader. Not so much now.
Could that be the fact that he's closer with his son? He's got a bit softer or something? Season 1, like he was by himself in the sheriff's station.
I mean, possibly, but that kind of covers all the whole Tilly whodunit, Fatima hiding out in the forest. We will talk about the ending that obviously does involve her, but also we have a scene later on where Boyd is walking out with Ellis and he's got him supplies and he says, right, leave me a note every 2 weeks and I'll bring you the supplies. We'll meet up every 2 weeks and we'll get what you need. And it's like, that sounds like long-term planning. That sounds like Boyd's planning on having Ellis and Fatima live out in the woods for, a long time. Like, what is the plan? What is the end goal? Just for them never to be in the town again? Because I'm assuming if Boyd's going to have them live out, then that means Boyd knows that the truth's getting revealed.
Yeah, but then, right, what happened?
Is he going to pretend they're both dead or something?
I totally understand this, but I just remembered what Ellis said. He's like, I can stay with her, Dad. She won't hurt me. Ellis, your whole fucking argument is that it wasn't her that hurt Tilly, so why wouldn't she hurt you?
Yeah, Boyd looking at him like, nah, son, come on.
And then he's like, I'll admit it was me. What's that going to fucking achieve? That's going to achieve nothing. I might get you killed and her. I think the best case scenario is coming clean. Boyd puts his foot down. He's like, you know what? We think she's turned into something we don't really know yet. It wasn't her that did it.
I'm going to keep her locked up.
I'm going to keep her locked up for, future purposes. Because this could happen to one of us and then we'll know later down the line. It's never happened before. That's what you do. See this hiding in a tent? Oh, here. Make sure you pitch your tent not on the path to the town. What the fuck's that doing? That's doing nothing. I tell you what else is doing nothing. Victor, greeting about a doll. A doll!
Yeah, so we had more Victor. He was trying to get Sarah to speak the way the doll speaks.
He's punching himself in the head, man.
Sorry. He doesn't talk like that.
I tell you what, that's put me off doing that. See, next time I get frustrated, I'm not punching myself in the head.
I end up like Victor full-time.
No, I don't want to.
Part-time Victor, don't want to be full-time Victor.
Part-time Victor's alright, but full-time Victor's just it's
I am begging on my knees for a scene like where Boyd returns to the head of the throne and just fucking bars Victor to a pulp.
And you know what? You look at the way Victor's acting, no wonder his dad's just busy getting drunk this episode.
I know, I don't blame him.
But what have they done with the Henry character? And I actually thought some of his dialogue was decent in this episode. I liked the way he kind of put Jim in his place, but
put him over at the same time.
I mean, pretty much, see, once he got there, all he's done's drink. I mean, he had a little reunion with Victor.
He went into the tunnels and he went into bought me a bottle.
But I mean, all he's really done since then is just drink, man. It makes no sense to me, and I thought we would have seen more with Henry and Tabitha. Like, surely the connection they've got and his wife being the chosen one and her seeing the visions, I felt like, don't these people want to escape? It's like, shouldn't the people that are clued in a little bit be communicating more regularly or whatever? And then you've got Jim, who's just not clued in at all. So Sarah runs over to get Tabitha because Victor's shouting at her because she's not speaking the way Casper would speak. That's not giving the correct, fives or spilling the beans or whatnot. So she runs over to Victor's house, or should I say Sarah's basement, whatever. And then Jim says to Julie, look after Ethan, there's something I've got to do. He puts his coat on. Then he walks over like a hard man, like a tough guy, trying to control his wife almost. And he's trying to run down Jade, but Jade just lays the smack down on Jim, making Jim look pathetic. And Jade basically says, fuck you, you may be able to control your kids and,
which you can't even do.
Keep them on lockdown, but your wife's a grown-ass woman. She can do what she wants. And she's the one that came to me. And last time I checked, she might not even be your wife anymore. Okay, didn't add that in, but I mean, if I was Jade, I'd have threw that wee bit in there,
yeah.
And then Jade storms out.
But Jim's reason for burying him is like, you're smarter than everyone else.
Who gives a shit, man? Who cares how smart Jade is? See if Jade gets you home, are you really going to care if this guy brags about having 25 plus IQ on you?
Yo, Jade, right? I think what he's doing is filler. But he's doing more than Boyd. Jim, sorry. So at the end of the day, what is Jim doing
apart from moaning like a bitch, honestly?
It's like, he's not even looking after his kids, let's be honest. That's a fucking pipe dream.
Jim, I think the Jim character died when he was arguing with Tabitha a couple of episodes ago, and he tried to get out of bed to argue with her a bit more, and his legs got stuck in the blankets.
And his arse got caught.
I think that's killed the Jim character. See, when you're trying to jump up to argue with someone and your legs get stuck in the blankets, it's just not good.
The argument's lost.
Yeah.
You could be the dumbest fuck in the world, but if your legs aren't caught in the blankets, you've won.
And then he storms off. Well, all the time this is happening, Henry's getting some, free TV. And he basically just says, look, that Jade guy's kind of right. You can't control your wife. And maybe you should, you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that, but you're not doing it to protect them. You're not doing it to look out for them. You're doing it because you're scared. And
could we not have got a scuffle here?
Yeah, and I thought at one point Jim was going to try and punch Jade, but I reckon Jim probably caught on here. I don't know, I might not be able to take this guy. So he kind of bottled it. But then Henry tells Jim that, look, I'm the only person here that can probably have the right to say this to you, because I've been in your situation and I didn't believe my wife, and look at me now. I'm just a drunk with a messed up son. And who knows, maybe that'll be Jim. Maybe Jim will be a drunk, although he's promised never to drink again. But
let's go back to Victor though, right? Victor's like, oh, Jasper told Christopher this. He's like, it's so important. How do you know it's important if you don't know what he fucking said? Explained it, and then Victor's got an awful knack for forgetting things, and 8 episodes later he remembers the full conversation. Victor's character is ridiculous at this point.
Yeah,
what happened to the trees getting closer? The lunchbox with the Magnum in it. At least that was kind of funny. The faraway trees, and then he's like, "Oh, the boy in white. It was the boy in white. Oh, the lights got darker, and then they took the children out and they killed them at night. What the fuck does it mean, you stupid bastard? I mean, come on!" And Tabitha's sitting there egging him on. Yeah.
See, in season 4, man, Victor will have a new toy to play with. Casper will be thrown in the bin, and Victor will be trying to find. It's all about Rebecca. She knows the answers. I mean, forget about Casper. He's season 3 news. We need to direct our attention to this next thing.
I look at this entire town, right, and I think, see if everyone got back to the real world, they'd live all right. How's this guy living in the real world?
I think Victor's...
You could say that's the effect of growing up here, but he's done. That's a mental institution.
Victor's probably better off here, isn't he? Like,
yeah.
Henry's thinking, I don't want to escape and have this guy live with me.
Of course not.
Henry's trying to drink himself into an early grave. What else did we have? We have...
Julie and Ethan, all that great stuff, man.
Oh, and also, the Julie Randall stuff just feels fucking weird. I don't understand. And also, I mean, we seen Marielle at the beginning. She was walking up to the colony house when they found Tilly. You'd have thought because she's a nurse, she'd have went to see what happened. But she kind of just disappeared. The other lesbian chick wasn't in this episode either. Forget her name. Christy. So yeah, I don't know what those two were doing, but they weren't really doing anything. I mean, that was...
Randall's telling Julie, oh... Yo, there's nothing in this place that wants to help you. I mean, is that particularly true? Like, they have found talismans. They've helped at the end of the day. And I don't think every vision that everyone's had has been always bad.
For me, I don't like when we have new characters, or newish characters, or characters that just haven't been there that long, pretending like they know everything. And to me, Acosta rubbed me the wrong way a few episodes ago. She was trying to basically tell Boyd how we can... get out of here and keep the people on board. It's like, you just fucking turned up, what do you know?
Well, she knows hee-haw, but Julie just has a bunch of flashbacks, but was she there? Did she throw the rope down to Boyd? She must have.
Yeah, so she has flashbacks, and we see Martin on the wall, and you think, who the hell's Martin? Well, Martin's that guy that Boyd spoke to in season 2 when he was trapped in the well. He managed to climb out, and Martin was like shackled to the wall. Julie sees him, and then Martin tells Julie to toss a rope down, and obviously that's where the rope was for Boyd. Now, if this is legit, then they've just completely messed up the timeline here in my eyes. I mean, I could even try to explain what is happening here.
Then she ended up in the tunnels.
I think we need a Jade IQ to explain what's happening.
Yeah, then she ended up in the tunnels when Tabitha and Victor went down. But this is just getting fucking crazy now. This show's got a lot of simple stuff to explain without messing up the timelines. There's a lot of questions that need answered, folks. And honestly, who threw the rope down to Boyd? Is that really it?
Yeah, but like, I mean, she got infected with that stuff after Boyd, did she not?
Yeah, but I don't think that has much of a bearing though, because it's like she still would have. It's still this is still what happened this episode to her happened because her and Ethan walked through to the thing and she left Ethan behind. I don't know, man. I think when you start doing all these flashbacks,
No, but it's the whole thing that her, Randall, and Marielle are all affected by this.
Yeah,
Well, that happened after.
Marielle's not really affected anymore. What effect has she had this season? I can't say any really.
Well, doesn't Randall want to move in because he says to her, "Here, you see it too, don't you?" But I mean, like, how?
Yeah, but we've not seen her see it.
Yeah, well, maybe she's hiding it.
Maybe she is hiding
Maybe
it.
she's a fucking throwaway
But
character that doesn't deserve screen time.
If Julie can do this and help Boyd in the past, then what's stopping, like...
But how is she there to help Boyd? That just makes no sense.
Nothing makes sense, man. Anyway, I think it's time to talk about Elgin and the blood test.
Right, so I think we've covered everything. If there's something we didn't cover, then let us know down below. But Elgin then, he does some blood tests and he takes some more Polaroids and he follows the instructions and he finds the cabin. So yeah, he finds the cabin, he takes Fatima out, Boyd and Ellis get there later, they find it empty, they're panicking. What has happened with Fatima? Well, Elgin has taken Fatima, he secretly leads her into the cellar where he says Ellis is waiting down below. He leads her in, she realises Ellis isn't here, she tries to get out, Elgin stops her from leaving. Elgin's like, you got to stay here for the good of the baby needs to be here. Fatima like, there is no baby. She tries to get out, and Elgin just drags her in. It's very soft. Like, I mean, it was almost like she had a handle with care fucking label slapped on her or something here. The way that Elgin was trying to.
But no, I hate about this, right? Yes, Elgin's seen these visions all season, but his turn to the dark side here just happened like a light switch.
And I believe that Elgin believes that this is some sort of trade, that if he brings Fatima here, this will save the town and everyone will be able to escape and go home. Where that came from, I'd like to see that conversation, how that conclusion was drawn. I'm not convinced. But that's the end of the episode. Elgin traps Fatima at the bottom of the cellar, and according to him, he believes that's it done now. He thinks everyone will be able to go home.
But what do we think's going to happen with this? Honestly, it's called Part 1 and Part 2. I think Fatima will turn into a monster, and that'll probably be the final image of season 3. Sorry, I honestly thought she would have. I thought she would have turned into a monster a long time ago, but it looks like that's the end of the arc. There's no way he's dragged her into the basement for it to end next episode on episode 8. There's nothing else going in the show.
No, this was episode 8.
That's what I'm saying, though. There's no way he's...
next episode would be episode 9.
There's no way he's dragged her into the basement in episode 8 for her arc to end in 9. There's nothing else going. Like, what's actually going right now?
Well, the fact that it's called Revelations Chapter 1 and Revelations Chapter 2, that tells me that episode 9 is just going to be completely to set up the finale.
Which would follow the trend of this season, where it feels like a long way like
I don't want to call episode 9 filler, but I believe that we're not going to get anything substantial in episode 9, and that episode 9's sole purpose is going to be to set up episode 10. But here, we'll have to wait and see. But we're talking about 9, we're talking about 10. I don't think the rating for this episode will be anywhere near those kind of numbers. So, over to you. Or should I just give me I'm going to get a 6. I thought it was decent. I think it was better than the previous few episodes that we've seen. And to me, from episode 5 onwards, the show's been really, really mediocre. I thought this episode was a bit better. I'll give it a 6.
Yeah, before I go into my rating, my problem with the show is I think episode 10 could literally be like the best episode in the show's history, and it's just nowhere near enough to redeem the season for me. And if they've put all their eggs into the basket, well, let's hope it's still great. But I agree, I'll give it a 6. Like I said at the beginning, I think this episode was the best at like the last 4. But the reality is, it came.
Wouldn't be hard though, would it?
No, it wouldn't be hard. But the reality is, it's 4 episodes in a row where not much happened, but it saved the best one to last, so it automatically just props it up. I'll get a 6 as well.
Right, 6 out of 10, guys. That's it. We'll catch you in the next one. Promo to come as well, and Fairy Fids, why not? All that good stuff. And who knows? Maybe we'll do death predictions before episode 9, since it's like a double season finale, I guess. So yeah, death predictions to come. Anyway, that's it. Till next time. Peace.